Hello and welcome to the first application test of what you've learned in the tutorial series. So today we're going to be recreating something called a MAXTube, which looks like this. Now it might look a bit complicated, but I'm going to give you some detailed instructions and I'll show you the solution at the end. But I would like you to try your best first before looking at the solution. So first thing you need to do is you need to of course make a sketch, and the size of a MAXTube it is 1 by 2. So you need a 1 by 2 inch rectangle to start. Then you need to extrude that out 12 inches. So you should start with something like this, real simple. Then we're going to go back into our original sketch. This is just for me showing you. You won't actually do this, but you're going to make a circle that is 1/8 of an inch in size. Simple as this. That's going to be the holes that you saw on the MAXTube. And then you're going to use a linear pattern to replicate this. You need to make sure that the holes are spaced 1/2 inch apart. And then you need to replicate it however many times is required for that side. And then of course once you finish, you just need to click the check to confirm that's what you want to do, put the holes in it. And then also, the last thing you gotta do is you gotta shell this out. And so shelling it, you're just gonna use the shell tool and shell out this side and the opposite side. So that's your instructions. That's what you're gonna be doing. And so now I'm going to give you some time to try that before I show you the solution. I'll give you about 30 seconds. Okay, it's been about 30 seconds. If you're not finished, pause the video, come back when you're done. But so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my solution and I'm going to show you guys how to make this. So of course you first make your sketch, make your 1 by 2 rectangle, real simple. We're going to hit the check there, we're going to extrude this out 12 inches. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make a new sketch on this face. And very simply, we're going to make our 1/8 inch circle. We're going to use dimension on the center point of it to get it to be a 1/2 inch from this side and a 1/2 inch from this side because that's how far away it needs to be. And then we're going to use linear pattern on this. We're going to tell it to replicate 3 times this way, spaced 1/2 inch apart. We're going to tell it this way, it's going to be 1/2 inch apart, and it's going to do it 23 times. And so if we confirm that, hit check, click on this, extrude, and we're going to tell it to remove at a depth of 1. That is now that part finished. We now do the same thing up here on the top, at which point I'm going to line up with the center here. Do this, set that to be 1/8, and then I'm going to tell it to be a 1/2 inch from there. And then, oh, fun loading. I'm going to use linear pattern on this. I only want it going 1 time this way, so I'm just going to set it to be 1 this way. I want 23, but I want it to be going -0.5 in this direction. Hit check, confirm, click the sketch, hit extrude, change this to be 2. Oop, I forgot to click on the sketch. Whoopsie. And so we click the sketch, we hit remove, 2 inches. And now we click on shell, click this side, and then we have to move it up here because Onshape cares about the order that things are in. And boom. Now we have our MAXTube. Fun challenge, right? If you continue watching this series, there will be more later on to test your applications. So that was this test, and so hope you enjoyed, and I will see you later.